Hello everybody. So in this video we're going to continue working on our to-do app. And the last thing that we did, we just set up our Vite development environment. And I will keep it simple right now. I will put everything inside my application.view. And later, I know that it told that it was a series of two. It's actually going to be a series of three. Let's put everything here, and then we will show you how we can use the component section. But let's actually put everything here in order to keep it simple. Now, this video is actually a updated version for the previous one. So that means that's why everything looks a little bit different here and there. So I will change just the layout of the to-do app. Don't worry, you can follow up along. But I believe it's going to be a little more clear, or let's see what happened, right? Now I don't have the layout created yet, so I just will type along and let's see how it actually goes. Right, so for here, let's get started. So right now I have my application already running. Let me verify that. Yes, it's already there. Cool. So, oops, there you go. So let's change this title. And probably we can do this a little bit smaller. There you go. Not that much. There you go. And let's start working a little bit with here. So let's call this Vite my to-do app. And let's change this one to be text. No, let's do trailing tracking wider. Probably no, the other way around. Tight. That should work. Maybe. And let's put over here. I don't know if I remember correctly. Nice. Let's look for a rocket. There you go. My to-do app, right? You can keep the record or not. It's up to you. So we have that's a title. So what I want to do is I want to have an input, right? And this input going to be a text. And here we need to put a couple of classes. And let's put order. Actually, border. Put a border, and then border. We'll make it black for now. Oh, we need to close this. There you go. We have our input right now. I will move this later. For now, let's keep it here. And then I want to have a div element. And this element I will have two different ULs, right? Actually, let me grab this UL. Sorry for this auto completion. I have this copilot, so it's trying to understand what I want to do here. So yeah, it's really smart, right? Well, let's actually type here. I will need to have a div, and this div we have an H2, H3, this one H3 as a title, and as a sibling, and a UL, pretty much, and everything should be multiplied by 2 if I do a tab. Does this work? Oh my god, it didn't work. Okay, all the way around. So it will div, H3, completed. No, sorry, to do, pending, and let's do another one. Div, H3, completed. Okay. And here we have a no now. And inside the all we have the list. And we have item 1. Let's actually have another one called 2. And a completed, let's put over there 3. There you go. So we have the title, the list with 1, 2, the completed with the 3. So let's do the layout really quick. So on our main one, let me actually grab everything in another div. And let's put this at the bottom. And let's do class minimum height is going to be screen. So we can actually have background, gray, I don't know, 800 maybe. Yeah, that work. Let's make this text gray 300. Perfect. Let's all this to be a flex element. And we have flex column. There you go. Let's do inside a container. Oops. The container should be inside. So let's remove this flex element from here. Let's do another div. No, we cannot. Yes, let's do another div. And we have the H1, the input, and the pending items all together. And this div will wrap the class of container and MX auto. That means it's going to be a little bit like that. Perfect. And now we can do flex and flex column. There you go. We can have this to be text center. So here let's do space y of, I don't know, 8. Let's keep it really separate. Boom. And let's do a padding top of 8 too. There you go. Let's make this input box to be a little more pretty somehow. So we have it right here. Probably we can remove the border. We don't need it anymore. And let's do rounded, large. Okay. Let's put outside here a placeholder. New to do. Let's do, and with that we can actually do text center and padding X of 4, padding Y of 6. Oh, probably too much. And let's do text Excel. And let's do padding X2 and Y of 4. Actually, the other way around, 2 and 4. There you go. Perfect. And let's make this to this element to have a class of flex that will put one beside the other. And let's do let's say we have the class flex. Let's do the child elements to be flex row. Right, so we have that space in the middle. But let's actually with 1/2.
¿Qué te gustaría escuchar?
Oh, my Alexa just get started.
No
Alexa,
puedo reproducir lo que me pides en TuneIn.
I'm so sorry for that. My Alexa just got started. Sorry. Okay, so let's continue. So let's make this white middle. Yeah, probably. Let's do flex and let's do. Actually, no, let's not make this middle. Let's do flex and let's do justify between. Promise too much around. Mm, let's do between. We pretty much like posting to every site one of those, right? Here, let's make this class to be, I don't know what we can do. Text center. Actually, let's do text large to Excel. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And let's do text green 400. Oh, no, 6. A little bit better. And after we have the pending list, here for every element, we need to have a class of background gray 300 probably with full, right? And for that it should be class flex, probably no, with full. And for that I mean that this one needs to be with full. Mm. Put with full to everything now. Ah, I don't like it. What happens if I remove this one from here and this one? Let's put justify between. Let's put with 1/3. And the other one here too. So this is actually going to be this one too. 1/3. And now I believe we can do text center. There you go. And it's going to be completed. But instead of green, it's going to be red. It is me or the red is just too red. Let's put. We can work with that. What about if we change this to blue? Hmm. Probably we can keep the green here. Let's change a little bit the layout. And this one's to blue. And make this 400. There you go. So okay, we make this full. Text center. Padding X of 4. Padding Y of 2. We'll put it rounded large. Okay. Let's make this one to space the parent X to be 4. Actually, it's not here. Oops, it's here. It's actually no X, it should be Y. And it's not working the way it's supposed to. So let's make this one to have a padding top of 8. I like it. And I have a space wide of 4. Yes, so let's copy this and paste it over here. So we have these two over there. Start making sense on how. So just let's change a couple of things here before we proceed with full text center. You know what? There's another. No, probably we need to install Sternwind, I believe. Wind, VS Code, order, tailwind, headwind. Let's install headwind. This will give you a really cool. Oh, it's already there. Why is not working? Oh, probably need to put this in my settings. Oh, it's already there. Hmm. Oh, it's already here, but it doesn't have view. So let's copy this. Let's paste it and make this to be view. Probably. Yeah, and now we save this. Let's make a change. No. Okay, give me a second. Okay, I just make it work. I don't know how exactly. Um, so it took just a while. But for example, I can do something like this. I save it, and it gets saved. It gets redirected where it's supposed to be. So it takes the best practices where the different Tailwind classes should be, right? And I had that because, to be sincere, I'm a little bit lazy. Just remember where things should be done, so I rely sometimes on tools for do the work for me. Okay, so let's continue. So this one, let's change text the blue 400 is the one that we're using. It look good there? No, it doesn't look good there. So let's change this to 600. And it's 600, not 64. And probably can do font bold, semi-bold. Where is my font semi-bold? Let's change this to font bold. Okay, yeah, it makes a lot more sense. Go to the end. And then do on hover. I will do cursor pointer. On hover, the background will be blue 400. And on hover, the text should be gray 200. You see? There you go. I like it. Let's just make a little fancy. Let's make a transition. Let's see if this actually works. Transition, change colors. Um, let's do transition color. Mm, I forget the other name. So all the classes actually, I already know most of those, but of course you go to the Tailwind site, you can look for all of them right here. or you can actually go to the documentation directly. Let me see how actually go to the documentation. The main website, get started, oops, documentation, and we can actually go to start learning. We just install it. On the other thing, we go to releases. No, I lose it. Well, you can go to a search and look for, I don't know, phone family, for example, and you will see the different sections of phone family. Or, or you can actually maximize it, and you will see everything on the left. You can actually go through that too. So let me look for transition. Duration is the one that I want. Okay, so let's put that duration. Really dramatic. You don't want to see this working. There you go. We have that little duration over there. So now that I have that, I can actually paste it all the way around here. Oops. All the way around here. And we have those right like that. And this one will be a little bit similar. But what changed here? Oh, the UL changed. Let's make the UL. And instead of being blue, it is going to be green. There you go. And here, this should be gray. There you go. Completed. Okay, we have the different elements there. We have the need to do. We can actually type. And now we can actually do the functionality. Right, so let's do a little bit different here. Now, in the script setup, let's actually import a reference from view. Right here where the reactivity will happen. And in that reference, we will have const to do's equal a reference of an empty array. Right? For now, let's actually just put inside the array, let's put ID 0 to do, let's call this hello, and let's create a second one, ID of 1. There you go, I come out to completion there. And let's do, this one going to be, yeah, I like that, done false, and this one, let's put done true. Oops, why? We have an extra element there. We can put in a comma over here. There you go. Let's call this high. And this ID is going to be 2. Right? So the to-dos is going to be an object, and we're going to be pushing objects to here. So the way to do it right now, let's delete the second list and just keep one. And we're going to change this to have the before. And we're going to do something like this. For every to-do in to-dos, and we need to have the key. The key is going to be your to-do ID. We're going to print in the Vue.js format or to-do dot to-do to-do. Let's change this to actually be text content. Oops, let's do this one, and this one to be content. There you go. So this one should be content. Okay, yeah, it's working. And we can do exactly the same in the second one. And instead of the tree, it's going to be the content. So now we have our to-dos to be here and there. And now that we have it like that, probably, and just probably, can change this from space around to space between to space around. Where we specify that? Here. Wait. Justify between, justify around. Okay, yeah, a little bit better. So we have our pending items and our completed items on the right. But as you can see, they are not sorted. We want to have all of the pending files over here and the completed over there. For that, we're going to create a computer element. So we're going to have const pending equal computed. We're going to have we have our this right here. It's going to return from our to-do values. We're going to filter for every to-do where the to-do done is false. And we're going to do pretty much the same for completed, where our to-do is actually done, right? What happens here, the computer element will take a reference and will react accordingly to that. So here we're just filtering the values of this reference to get the to-do that is actually not done, that means false, with this false over here. And here, wherever this is true. So now we can actually go back here and we can get to-do for pending. And what can I call it? Pending. For to-do in pending. Oh, there you go. Now we have two, perfect. And this one is to complete it. Okay. So if I change this one to true, word should move to the right. Perfect. Perfect. So I change this to false again, word should be moving to the left. Cool. It's doing it. Okay. So well, now we have that reactivity. Let's create another reactivity over here. Let's do const new to do equal an empty reference. And we tie this input, the value, to be equal to new to do. Right? And we need to tie it. Wait, there you go. So that means if this actually is x, we have that x over there. So now we have that value over here. And you know what? I don't like something. We have a space by A, and we need to move this to 16, maybe. A little bit more separation. It's not the best one, but it's working. Okay. Probably no, let's keep it to 8. And let's make this one to padding bottom of 4, just to make a little more separation in there. There you go. I like this a little bit better. So now that we have those, let's, what we can do here? Let's start adding to those. So we just need, we already have the reference, and we need to create a function const add to do is going to be something like this. So we just push it. The ID is going to take the length of the to-dos, and content is going to be need to do. Done is going to be false by default, and need to do is going and that need to do need to be evaluated to nothing, right? And that will happen only if mhm, probably we can do that one. Let's actually keep it the way it is. Um, well, no, let's actually put it. Let's do if new to do value. What it is over here? It is something trim. Okay, just remove the spaces. That means if there's nothing, nothing will happen there. Cool. So we will check if we add extra spaces. It's going to trim it. So that means it's going to be empty. That means that it will be false. And when it's false, it's not going to push it. It's pretty much what it's doing. As you can see right here, this filter and this trimming and this pushing is simple JavaScript. We're not doing nothing extra that we don't know that JavaScript can do. Now, because we're using reference, that's why we have the setup for the values. And we did that over there. Don't worry, you will have copy about this code in the description. So now that we have the add to do, let's go to the input. Where did I lose my input? Over here. And let's do, whenever this change, it's going to add a to do. So we do another, we click enter. In theory, it should be working, but it didn't. Hmm, what happened with this? Why is it not working it? Let me open my spec. Let's open my console. Let's comment all this out. And let's do a simple console log need to do value. So no, put another. Oh, it's not getting saved somehow. Oh, because I'm trimming it. No, wait. Need to do, need to do input, add to do, whenever you change. Hmm. Let me do next over here. If I click enter, yeah, it's X. And then it's not getting saved. That means the value is not getting bind the way that it's supposed to. So let's check what is happening with the binding. And actually the issue is really simple, I believe. I changed this to value, but it not should be a value, it's actually a model, and that's my mistake. I'm sorry for that. So the model is for the two-way binding. We have another, get print x. Hmm, it's not getting saved the way it's supposed to. There you go. You can see that I'm changing it, and we can print the value. Perfect. That means that we can delete this and uncomment all this, including this one. So when I add another one, that will get added to the list. If I new one, that get added too. And the need to do just get empty the way it's supposed to. Right? So we're able to add new to-dos in there. That means that we should be able to get rid of our basic information. And we can add 1, 2, 3. There you go. And those get added the way they're supposed to, and everything gets reactive every time that we hit enter in here. Let's do the same for the completed now. What we need to do is whenever I click one of these, you need to go to completed, and vice versa. Whenever I click from completed, you need to go back to this. And that's going to be really, really simple. We're going to add another function. Let's call this const. Give me a second. Okay. So I was telling you, sorry for that delay. Let's create something called change status, right? And this should be a function that's going to be doing something not like this. Let me just do something like let's see what we can actually do. No, nothing worked. God is suggesting me. So the change status will accept an ID, right, as an element, and that will tell that perfect. That's pretty much what we need. So it will get that to do, looking for the to dos with that particular ID, and we change the status whatever it has. If it has true, it will convert it to false, or if it has false, it will convert it to true. That means that every time that we click this one, we can say for both here at click change status, and we'll send that ID, and we'll do exactly the same with the other list, right? So we can actually do 1, 2, 3. If I click 2, you send it to there. If I click it back, it returns. There you go. Perfect. We can have that movement. It's doing what it's supposed to. And we can actually do what else? Let's keep it like that. Probably we can do the zoom to get the zoom over here, but that's just too much. I believe with this should be more than enough to show how the process needs to be done. Now, as a last step, I know that I've been recording this for a while. Let's actually publish this application where it's supposed to be. So for that, I will open my terminal now. I will close this one and I do npm run build just to verify that everything is working. And I do npm run serve. That will run in another port my build configuration. And it's there. Yeah, it's doing what it's supposed to. Perfect. So that means that our application is is running perfectly. For that, We can easily set our Git in it, and probably we should be doing this in the beginning. And let's Git add all of them. Git commit, and let's add a message. Finish it. App, and we get everything there. Now we should get into Git code, create a repo. I'm being lazy here, so I have something to do that for me. So I will create this Vite to do app. It's going to be public. There we go. I'm just going to push it. And it's going to get pushed to this particular direction. You need to remember that. Cool. After I have that, we are ready to deploy to our server. So we are ready to set up the server, we have everything, and since that moment, I are actually ready to change servers too. So let me go to my server. Yeah, bar www html. So what I have here is I have the main Nginx file. So let me remove that. It will not allow me yet because it belongs to root. I didn't do that. Okay. So let me just go as root. Sorry, this is a new server, not the one that in the video that you saw. So let me go to root and search mode. Um, oops. Oh, I cannot go through it. I can do what I can do. Give me a minute, let me fix this. Okay, I already fixed my permission, and I create just a simple index HTML. Oops, sorry for that moment. A simple index HTML with just the word hello. And it will go to the server at this moment, and my server changed to roderman.com. We just have the hello working there. Perfect. So what I can do here now is let me go to my home directory, and I will look for my repository that you've loaded to GitHub. I call that one Vite to do app, I believe. There you go. I will copy the code and let me do HTTPS. I do git clone, I'm in home, right? So let me clone it. I go to the bit to do app. I will install my dependencies. I will run my build. It is actually npm run build. And that will compile and create the index, the HTML, the CSS, and the JavaScript. We can see that those actually got imported right here. And those are inside the distribution folder. So you can see that now we have a distribution folder, and that distribution folder, we have everything that we need for our app to be up. Right, so I will just print the content where this it is, and I will go to my bar www.html where we have the main website, right? Remove my index, and I will copy all this content here, and I do copy recursively. There you go. And that will make everything to be there. That means if I reset this, my application is up and running. Cool. So that simple was to update the app, upload it to the server, and deploy it. So I know it went a little bit fast, but I wanted to be actually the shortest as possible this video. On the next one, we will refactor a little bit the code just to be a little more dry. There is some changes that we can implement. For example, the list item, this one and this one is really similar. The list itself with the title is really similar. So probably we can refactor those to be actually on a smaller footprint in our main application. So let's see how we go and do on the next video. Meanwhile, any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.